What if I told you that right now your wealth is being attacked from 4 directions at once? The market that built your wealth, the world that can sue you for it, the IRS that quietly drains it every single year, and time itself, which decides whether any of this outlasts you. Most people at your level are defending against one of these, maybe 2, and leaving the other 2 doors wide open. And no one warns you why. The moment your wealth becomes worth protecting is the exact moment the financial industry stops serving you. You're too complex for retail advice and too small for the family office built for $100 million fortunes. You're in a financial services desert, which means running defense on all 4 threats falls to one person, you. But here's the good news. You don't need to be a financial genius to close all 4. You need to execute on 4 specific tasks. I'm Christopher Nelson, and I've spent 5 years running my own microfamily office. And when it comes to protecting my $8 million portfolio, these are the exact 4 I focus on first. The first threat is the market, but not the market in general. It's your exposure to it. Specifically, how much of your net worth is riding on top of too few public stocks. For a lot of people at this level, the honest number is staggering. Maybe it started with equity compensation. You were paid in company stock, it ran, and now a single ticker is the majority of everything that you own. Maybe you rode a handful of winners for years and just never trimmed. Or maybe you inherited a position that you've never had the heart to touch. However you got there, the result is identical. Too much of your future depends on too few companies. And I understand why it's sitting there. Those stocks made you wealthy. Selling feels like betraying the thing that got you there. But here's the principle I want you to internalize. Concentration builds wealth. Diversification preserves it. Those are 2 different jobs at 2 different stages. And if you're holding a concentrated position with no plan, you're not investing anymore. You're gambling. I know this one from the inside. In 2012, 90% of my net worth was tied up in a single stock. One company, if it stumbled, my entire financial life stumbled with it. Now, the task isn't sell everything tomorrow. The task is to make your concentration a decision instead of a default. And that requires a filter. In a family office, that filter is called an investment thesis. It is a written document that translates your goals and your risk tolerance into a specific criteria. And every position has to pass through it. Not only the new opportunities that you're evaluating, but the positions that you already hold. When you run your concentrated positions through a written thesis, the emotion drains out of the decision. You're no longer asking, do I believe in this company? You're asking, does this position at this size serve what I am building? And the answer produces a plan with thresholds and dates instead of another year of holding by default. It's the first thing that we build together in the live workshop that I host. And the day you write it down, the position stops running you. That's the first task. Diffuse the concentration that can take you down on your schedule before the market picks the moment for you. The second threat doesn't come from the market. It comes from the world. Here's the question most people have never been asked. If somebody sued you tomorrow, a car accident, a business dispute, an incident on a rental property, what could they reach? And for most people at this wealth level, the honest answer is everything. The brokerage accounts, the real estate, the savings, because it's all sitting in one place, your personal name. You've built a 7-figure balance sheet with the legal structure of somebody with a fraction of your assets. Think about it this way. Most serious businesses don't hold their assets and run their operations in the same entity. But your personal wealth, likely the largest financial engine that you will ever own, is doing exactly that. Family offices solve this with a structure that we call the 2-company architecture. One entity holds and protects. We call it the vault. The other runs operations and generates income. We call it the engine. Assets on one side, activity on the other, and a wall in between them. Now, the specific entities, the thresholds, the way it gets set up, a qualified professional can help you cross those T's and dot those I's. But the task is clear. Stop holding everything in your personal name. Separate what you own from what you do. Because a wall that you build before you need it protects you. A wall you tried to build after doesn't. That's 2 of the 4 threats closed: the market and the world. And if this is landing for you, please take a second, subscribe to the channel. Breaking down how to run your wealth like a business is exactly what I do on this channel. The 3rd threat is the most predictable one: the IRS. Taxes are the single largest recurring drain on your wealth. Not fees, not inflation, taxes. And they hit you every single year. But here's what I want you to notice about how most people handle it. They have a CPA. Every spring, that CPA tells them what happened. Here's what you made. Here's what you owe. Goodbye, good luck, and see you next year. That's not tax strategy. That's somebody ensuring tax compliance. It's looking through the rearview mirror at money that's already gone. The task is to move from backward looking to forward looking, from a preparer who reports the year that ended to a strategist who plans the year ahead. Let me make this concrete with my own numbers. When I hired my current certified tax planner, I paid them $10,000 and they saved me $25,000 that year alone. That's not a subscription cost. That's an investment with a positive return that is now happening year after year. And here's what forward planning unlocks that reporting never can. There's a layered set of tax strategies, we call it the deduction stack, that compounds over time. But every layer of it requires planning before the next year happens, not after. And most of it requires the structure that we covered in task 2. These 4 tasks aren't independent. They're built on top of each other. Now, let's move to the 4th threat. This is the one nobody wants to talk about. It's called time. Let me ask you this. If something happened to you tomorrow, could your spouse or child run this? Would they know how the entities are structured, what the strategy is, who to call, why the money is positioned the way it is? For most first-generation wealth builders, the answer is no. And I want to be clear about why. It's not negligence. It's that you have no model for this. Your parents didn't hand you a playbook for transferring wealth because they didn't have wealth to transfer. You're the first, which means that you're writing the playbook, not inheriting it. So the 4th task is documentation. Remember the investment thesis from task 1, the one that you use to diffuse your concentration? This is where it does a second job. It becomes your strategy on paper outside of your head. But strategy alone isn't enough for somebody else to run this. You write down the operating rules, your target allocation, when you rebalance, what each account is for, and who's authorized to act. That's the difference between a philosophy and a business somebody could actually step into. Add basic governance, who decides what, and the operation becomes clear enough that somebody you love could step in and run it without you. This is the task that separates families who build wealth for one generation from families who build it for every generation that follows. Because here's the hard truth. If your wealth can't survive without you, you haven't built generational wealth. You've just managed your money well. Now, step back and look at the 4 tasks together. Diffuse your concentration, separate your assets from your operations, plan your taxes forward, document it so that it outlasts you. Notice what happens when you do all 4. The thesis from task 1 becomes the document at the heart of task 4. The structure from task 2 unlocks the strategies in task 3. Each defense reinforces the others. And so your wealth stops being a pile that you anxiously guard and becomes a business that defends itself. That's what it means when you move from wealth creator to the CEO of your own family office. Every one of these 4 defenses starts in the same place, with strategy. Before the structure, before tax planning, before the documentation, you need clarity on what you're protecting and why. That's the work we call the architect phase. Now, if you have between $1 million and $30 million in net worth and you're ready to do that work, I'd love to have you at our next live workshop. It's a 2-hour deep dive on implementing the architect phase for your own microfamily office. You will walk away with a legacy statement, an investment thesis, and a portfolio structure tailored to your goals. At the time of recording this, we've had over 2,500 people just like you come through the workshop. Head over to wealthops.io/go or click the link below this video to register. Our next workshop is likely in just a few days. And after you sign up, check out this video on the evergreen portfolio structure. We go deep in on the workshop. Let's keep building.